Alright guys, good morning. I just wanted to let you know, I did change up the deck just a hair, so the extra deck stayed the same. But the main deck, I ended up doing some things like adding a second Zhanwu. I also took out the Pot of Desires because I don't think the Pot of Desires was working really well for me. But that's just me. I added 2 more Foolish Burial Goods. And I took out the Veilers for Ghost Rabbit. I think I did that last time before I started filming though. But I added, so that my back row didn't get too cluttered, I added a Eldritch the Golden Lord. So I will do a deck profile on that again, like an updated. But first, because I know that 5-card hand loop combo is confusing, I want to go over that and kind of explain. This is going to be a hand test, but I'm going to explain how you can combo off to get that going fairly quickly. Just based on what you send and what you get. So if we have an opening hand, it looks like 5. Now obviously you want to go first. If you win the die toss, you want to go first. If you get a hand like this and you're going first, your best bet, honestly, is to normal summon Lulu and go from there. Because we've got Lily, it's kind of, think of it as get a tuner. It's you have a tuner, get a tuner. You're alternating based on your searches and your summons. Because what we want to do is we want to get Gothams, tribute, go for Cloud Castle, tribute, go for Cloud Castle, tribute, go for 9 lives, tribute, go for the final Cloud Castle, get Gotham's tribute. That's what it is. So we're going to use this hand to try to do that. So we're going to normal summon Lulu because that gives us a target for Lily. Lily sends 2. So we can send a spell and a trap. Now Psychic Tracker, because you control a level 3 monster that isn't Psychic Tracker, you can actually go ahead and special summon this card in defense position from your hand. But then you can only special summon him this way once per turn. So we're going to go ahead and special summon Psychic Tracker. He's not a tuner, she is a tuner. If we wanted to, there are 2 plays you could go into. You can go into Stardust Charge Warrior to draw a card, or you can go into Gossip Shadow so that it's really hard to Nibiru you. But we're just going to go straight full gas into this combo. So now we're going to target Lulu with Lily. We have to send a spell or trap first. We're actually going to be sending both. So we're going to be sending, we've got Zhanwu here. This is why I added a second one, so that we had one to send. And then we need to send Quinlan. Now mind you, this was our normal summon, so we haven't used her effect in order to do that. So now we have Lily. Okay, so now what we can do, you really want to banish Qinglong first. By banishing Qinglong, we can add to our hand. So what would be a good idea is to add Lulu. Now the problem is, we can't send a monster since we don't have any spells or traps face up to target, but that's okay. We're going to target Lily with Lulu's effect. We have to send another spell or trap, which is fine because Chuchi is really good in the graveyard. Alright, now we can summon Lulu. We'll summon her in defense. we can now use her effect. And a good one to add right now. This kind of goes, okay, so tuner, non-tuner. Tuner, I would want to add the non-tuner normally. So we have a level 6, we have a level 3, so we have a level 9 right here. So we could add Gigi. But I'm thinking the better, no, see, yeah, 'cause we've got Lily out already. I'm thinking we're going to want to bring out Lao Lao. It becomes increasingly more difficult when all you have to target are monsters. Alright, so now we can go into our first play, which would be Synchro for 9, for Gotham's, Tribute Gotham's. That is our first hand loop. And mind you, I don't think I'm going to be able to get all 5 based on the hand I got, but we're going to try it. I'm going to actually show you what you need in your hand in order to do it. Alright, from here, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and target Lulu with Lao Lao in order to send and really set up for our next turn. Send Qinglong, because you still need to build a board after you hand loop for 5. It's not that simple, you know what I'm saying? So from here with Lao Lao, we can bring back Lily, because he special summons. Then, yeah, because this is limited, I think we might get a 3 or a 4 hand loop out of this. So we'll synchro. For our first Cloud Castle, which will bring back Gotham's. Now we have 2. Tribute Gotham's, and we've now hand looped again. Now, let's do this. We have Zhanwu in the hand, so we can go ahead and get rid of Zhanwu, banish it to bring back a monster from the graveyard. My thoughts, to be honest, let's see, level 3, we have it here. I would go for Lulu. Mind you, I'm just showing you what you can do with this kind of hand. Alright, so here's what we do. We go into a level 9 play for our Cloud Castle to bring back Gotham's. This is actually the play I did last night. So here we are, oops, with our third Gotham's, Tribute for Gotham's. There's your hand loop for Gotham's. Now what we can do is overlay Cloud Castle. Going into 9 Lives Cat. In order to detach a material to bring back Gotham's. So here's our 4th. Tribute Gotham's. There's your 4. Now let's see. Did we summon Lily at all? Or Gigi? No, we did not. So technically that's where your turn would end. With a hand like that. So for combo, you need at least one random. Lily is a good one. You do need either Qualoon or Quinglong in your hand with Lulu. And let's say the 5th card is something random. So with this hand, and again, you don't need both of these, but if you have one virtual world monster with Lulu, Qualoon, or Quinglong, it's going to be combo. So it comes down to alternating. Let's say this is our 5th card. That's an amazing 5th card. So from here, if you activate Qualoon, it'll set one face up. Chuchi is a great gate to set face up. Then you can go ahead and activate Quinglong. Okay? So now you have these 3 cards. It literally comes to adding and sending to the graveyard appropriately. So we have Lily. Lily double sends. So let's do this. Let's target Chuchi with Lily so that we can send our next Quinglong in order to utilize our graveyard as a second hand. So we're going to send Quinglong to then summon Lily. Then, since we have to send the 3rd type, so we've sent a spell, we have a monster, let's send a trap. A good trap to send would be Zhanwu, because Zhanwu will allow us to special from grave. Okay, now that we have Lily, let's do Lulu. So, if we activate, let's say we target Quinglong with Lulu, we can send a monster or a trap. We have Nyan Nyan in the hand, and she might become our normal summon. So a good one to send would be Tutu. Having Tutu, I play her at 1. Having Tutu in the graveyard, she comes back as a level 6 tutor, and you can do a lot with that. So now we can special summon Lulu, which allows us to add. We do want that reborning effect. But I think what we're going to do... So let's grab Lao Lao. At this point, now that we have Lao Lao, we have our first Gotems here. Let's add, by banishing Quinglong to search into our deck, GG. We kind of have all the monsters we need now. Now it comes down to doing it and reborning the right things. From here, we actually can go ahead and do GG in order to send. So the last thing we need to send is Chuchi to change everyone's things around, or we can send Nyan Nyan. With Chuchi in the grave, if you banish Chuchi from the grave, you can pick a virtual world monster and adjust its levels by 3. So if we send GG, or if we do GG and send Nyan Nyan, Nyan Nyan will come back as a tuner, which actually isn't a bad thing. It gives us more on the field to work with. And then we still have this Nyan Nyan in here as well. So let's go ahead and target Chuchi with GG. Let's send Nyan Nyan and bring her back as a tuner when GG is special summoned. Because Nyan Nyan's other effect, which is amazing, is she'll get banished now that she's a tuner, but you can recur as well. So from here, let's go ahead and normal summon Nyan Nyan. We now have a full field, and we're going to pray that they don't have a Nibiru. You could have actually stopped Nibiru by overlaying for Gossip Shadow, but we're pretending that they don't have any hand traps. Like I said, this is all gas, we're going for gold. So, first one that we're going to do here is going to be our non-tuner Nyan Nyan. No, Tuner Nyan Nyan and Lily for our first Gothams. And the reason why we're doing that, banish, send that, this now gets sent back to the deck for Gothams. Gothams number 1, we can now tribute. Because we're going to need this Nyan Nyan. So, from here, we can target Qinglong with Roshi, or Lao Lao, excuse me. I love their names. So now we can send a spell or a monster, and for kicks and grins, since we've already got our... Oh, we don't have it set up for the next turn. So a good one to send from here, if we target Chuchi instead, we can then send our next Qinglong in order to set up for the next turn. So our graveyard allows us, in order to special summon this turn, search next turn. Now we could have gone Chuchi, but the reality is I don't think we're going to need to level adjust at all. So if we special summon Lao Lao, we need to see, we've got a lot of level 3s. We've got one level 3 tuner, no, non-tuner for Lao Lao, and we've got a level 3 tuner, a non-tuner. So it looks like we need a level 6 non-tuner. So you can either go for Tutu or Lily. It literally does not matter which one. We just need one of them in order to go into Cloud Castle. So tuner, non-tutor. Cloud Castle. Bring back Gothams for our second. Now we have tuner, non-tuner. For another Cloud Castle to bring back Gothams, to sack Gothams. That's number 3. Now from here, we can overlay for 9 lives cat in order to send to special summon a level 9, which is going to be Gothams, to go for our 4th. Now from here, we can Zhanwu to bring back Lao Lao in order to synchro come on for our last Cloud Castle. Right? Oops. To bring back Gothams to go for our 5th hand loop. We've now diminished our opponent's hand. Unfortunately, we have a lot less of a field than we would want. So, what we could do, and this is why Chuchi in the Grave would have been great, but if you banish a Worm and a Psychic, you can actually bring back Tutu as a tuner. Unfortunately, there isn't anything more that we can do, but on our turn, because, or on our end phase, because Gigi was used, we can special summon back our Nyan Nyan. Now our opponent needs a 1-card starter to do anything, whereas we have our graveyard set up to grab another card. So let's say now that we've been shuffling this whole time, our opponent cuts our deck. I mean, there's a lot of 1-card starters that can happen right now. But we can also pop their stuff with Chuchi. We have all different named virtual world monsters, cards, period, to use with Chuchi. And on our turn, we can actually go ahead and synchro into another level 9, or better yet, we can go ahead and, depending on what we get next, Chuchi, okay, that doesn't work out very well, but, yeah, we can synchro for another level 9, which we have our Shen, so we have our Macrocosmos. On our next turn, we can win this game and pray they don't have graveyard effects. So that's how you do your 5 loop. And then, as I showed earlier, just on the fly, doing a 4 loop with a fairly decent-ish hand. So I hope y'all learned something. Virtual Worlds, man. Dude, Gotham's is going to get banned. I swear. Gotham's is going to get banned. Oh my goodness. Virtual Worlds. Virtual Worlds are going to be they've already been the death of King of All Calamities. Gotham's is next. I guarantee it. Guys, I hope you learned something. I hope that the level 5 hand, or the 5 discard hand loop is something that you can practice. It does win games. You have a follow-up board at the end of it if you play your cards right, and even as I showed before with just a test hand, you can still hand loop for 4, but you can also build incredible boards. I mean, we have all of these options. Don't get stuck on just the hand loop, and don't think just because you're going second you can't do things. You can. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one, and I'm gonna try to get that Sacred Beast deck profile going up. It's a weird deck profile. I didn't do any research. I literally slapped it together, and I'll get to that probably next week.